Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that we gather on the unceded, traditional and ancestral land of Kamloops Secwepemc within Secwepemc. We are grateful for their stewardship and remain committed to respectful relationship building as we learn and innovate together. Thank you, Julie, for the wonderful opening. Hello, everyone. So happy to see so many excited faces and ready to start the fall session one. My name is Sachin. I'm Executive Director at SIBA, Central Interior Business Accelerator. And our vision is to improve those interactions between the ecosystem and bring about a growth across the ecosystem, not just Kamloops, but the whole of Central Interior. And before I begin, I'd like to introduce you to Zena. She is a professor at TRU and teaching AI. And she is also organizing the NASA Space Apps Challenge, which is an international event across 150 countries. And it's been hosted at Kamloops on the 4th and 5th of October, I guess. And she is looking for a sponsorship. So any business who is planning to expand, I believe it's a good opportunity. And when Julie would be sending out email on Friday, you'll have her contact details. You can get in touch with her. She can get in touch with you. And whosoever finds it, useful, you can go ahead with it. Thanks, Zena. So today's session is funded by Discovery Foundation. And the title is AI for Customer Experience, Smarter Service Without the Overhead. And you're going to learn how to set up and customize AI chatbots for FAQs, bookings, or support, how AI can track and analyze customer feedback to spot trends, how to integrate AI with your CRM, and with some hands-on activity as well. And the session will be presented by Rob, who is not a new name in Kamloops or even in BC, I would say. And he has around 20 plus years of experience, way more than that, turning big ideas into tangible outcomes. So please join me in welcoming Rob. Rob, over to you.
You know, that I always forget the name since Campus Innovation became central. And then Julie says SIBA today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why do I just say that all the time? So anyways, that's my learning for today. So thank you guys for joining. So today is going to be a little bit of me chatting at you, hopefully some interaction. Then I'm going to give everybody some time to, if you brought your computers, to actually see if you can build yourself a chatbot today. So I'm going to give you a tool that, there's lots of tools. That's one thing you'll find out in AI. Oh my gosh, there's so many tools, right? So I'm going to try to just give you one or two that we use that are easy to use, easy to set up, sort of a simple chatbot. We have tech people here today, so if you want super complicated, just come over here or over here, so you can have this. But I'm going to give you sort of just, the layman terms ways to set up chatbots for people that are just getting into AI. That's sort of what I'm going to teach today, okay? And then I'm going to leave some room at the end. So Julie's going to give me the hand sign that we're going to bring Peter up at the end as well to chat with you guys. I'm going to try to leave him about 15, 20 minutes at the end to come talk to you guys as well, okay? So, so in today's session, really what I'm going to cover is a few things. I like to keep the people that have been, I know there's some familiar faces that have been to the other sessions. I like to keep these pretty casual. Please stop me, ask questions. I would hear your feedback as well. Anything that I'm showing you today, we're recording it. Plus, Julie's going to get the deck out to everybody. So already sent. So you not have to write anything down. I'm going to send this all to you guys. It's totally fine. And then please connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to. I always nerd out on AI. So please reach out if you have any questions as well, okay? So what we're going to cover today is sort of the why chatbots are useful for businesses and at all levels. Doesn't matter if you're a nonprofit or a for-profit or whatever you do. These tools are great because they allow your website to be functioning 24/7. Right, that's the nice thing with these sort of things, right? The other thing I'm going to talk about is I'm a big believer of human in the loop. So I work how these tools can help humans, not replace humans. If you're looking to replace humans, I'm not the guy for you. so except myself. If I can replace myself and retire, I'm in. I feel like I'm working more now than I ever did with these tools, which is kind of funny. So, I want to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to show you some use cases. I think that's one thing I'm going to show you, just how people are using these. Sachin asked me one question. I thought this is interesting. It's an interesting question to always get asked around KPIs around AI implementation. How much time could it save? Is it going to save me money? And it's probably the one thing that's really difficult to kind of show, but I'm going to show you. I want to talk a little bit about that today, and talk a little bit about a use case that we're doing right now for a client where you can do that, and then we're going to do a demo. We're going to do a demo, plus then I'm going to pass it over to you guys to, if you have time to build. If you don't have a laptop to build, totally fine. I have a little bit of a worksheet in here that you can work through and take it away with you as well. Okay. And then whoever's going to try to build one, we're going to do some show and tell. I'm going to see if anyone can. So last time we did, you build your own GPT, and a couple people built some really cool ones in like literally in the class. One was a running one, I think it was, Sachin. I think it was a run. Yeah, like different trails and camels you can run. I'm like literally built it right on the spot, which is really freaking cool. So I thought that was awesome. That we'll do some show and tell. So before I get started, I'm going to do a little bit of a demo, and let's hope this works, because you never know when this stuff works. So there's a company out of White Rock actually called Thinker. It's think.rr. They're out of White Rock, and what they do is they do voice agents. So really cool company, started out of, and there's a lot of these tools. There's tons of these voice agent tools, but their idea is that these tools can really help businesses. Think about a chatbot on steroids. So you know, most people are familiar with a chatbot. You go on a site, there's a little bubble, pops up, you interact with it, you type in and you ask your questions. Well, now they've created like this, these are voice agents. So this is actually a little thing that sits on your website. You click a button, it can talk to you, it could phone me, it could answer the phone. It becomes a little bit more than a traditional chatbot. So we're going to try testing it. So they have a link on their website. We're going to call it and see if we're going to have a little conversation with it and see what it says. So let's hope it works. Just give me 1 second. I just need to click out of here. Never mind all my tabs. No one yell at me for all my tabs that are open, okay? I actually closed some. So let's see if this works. Let's hope this works with us.
Sorry. Hi there. I'm Ava from Thinker. I'm so glad you called. What's your name?
Hey, my name is Rob. How are you doing today?
Hi, Rob. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Ready to help you out with anything you need. How about you? How's your day going so far?
It's good, actually. I'm curious if you can let me know a little bit what you guys do. Like, what does Thinker do? How do you work with businesses?
I'm glad to hear your day's going well, Rob. So, Thinker specializes in voice AI solutions designed specifically for small to medium businesses, SMBs. Our goal is to make AI simple and useful for businesses like yours. We have two main platforms, Ava and Nico. Ava is our AI voice platform that helps businesses with things like lead activation, appointment scheduling, customer follow-ups, and even surveys. Basically, Ava can handle a lot of the repetitive communication tasks, so your team can focus on bigger things. Nico, on the other hand, is a client and lead activation platform. It's great for reactivating old clients, automating outreach, and qualifying leads. Together, they create a plug-and-play solution that's easy to set up and super effective for streamlining customer communication. What kind of business are you in, Rob? Maybe I can share how we could help in your specific industry.
That was a lot. I own a company that sells shoes. So I have a shoe company, and I'm wondering how you could help me in my little retail store. I got only a couple staff, so how would you integrate into what I do?
Got it, Rob. Thanks for sharing. A shoe company with a small team? That's awesome. And Ava could definitely help lighten the load for you and your staff. Here's how we could fit.
So anyways, I could go on. She gets a little verbose and stuff, so we'll turn her off for now. But you can kind of see how the power of these tools, right? Like, so they're not perfect, right? But they've come a long way. These tools, if you would have done that even 6 months ago, it would have been it's very robotic. You hear the pause, right? You're all familiar with those. Just pause. And then it starts talking. But now the latency in these things is almost non-existent. And they're getting better and better. The cool thing about Thinker is it actually integrates into your CRM system, your Google Sheets, whatever. It can actually access it through, it's integrated into a product called Go High Level, which I'm going to show you at the end today. But it actually can integrate so seamlessly, that conversation it just had with me, it could automatically go into your CRM system and update it and action things out of it, right? So you can kind of see how these tools can really help, you can probably start thinking, if you do, you can actually go on that site, click on it, and you can ask it, say, this is what I am, I'm a nonprofit, I'm a whatever, and how would you work? How would it work for me? And in the way that they're set up is that it's really easy to integrate. Their company itself typically works with agencies, so they usually don't work direct to consumer, but there's lots of products out there to do that. And again, for me, as you're going through this and listening to these things, I'm very much about strategy first. So if you're going to jump in and use an AI tool like that, take a step back and really understand what you're going to be using it for. And I think that's what Peter's going to be talking about at the end, right? It's like, come in and really understand what your goals are, and then find these tools how to best fit into it, right? Okay, but I just wanted to show you that capability. But you can kind of see that, I don't know, would anyone here hire a virtual AI assistant to answer the phone? Yeah, some people are nodding. Yeah, is there people that wouldn't? What's the hesitation you think on not putting in an AI? Is there anyone here that wouldn't? You wouldn't? Yeah, how come?
The main issue that I have with using AI like that is that so there was a case.
Yeah.
And generated a discount or whatever.
Yeah.
For food that Air Canada.
Yeah. So you can, and that's a great, I mean, that's typically what we hear when people are hesitant to do it, because you can give these tools no guardrails, and they will actually, if their job is to book a meeting, they will do whatever they have to do to book a meeting. But you can also put guardrails. You can make it where it's more of an FAQ bot, where if it doesn't know the answer, it will tell you that. I don't know the answer. I'm gonna get Rob to call you. I'm gonna get Peter to call you. Like, and then it'll book a meeting into Peter's calendar, so he knows he has to call somebody back because it. So you can, but if you give it the freedom, exactly. Cases where, I don't know if you guys heard, like Air Canada had a bot and gave a discount, and Air Canada's like, well, you're not giving discounts, and they're like, well, too bad. The AI agent acted on your behalf. You're liable for it, right? So be careful, because it is an extension of your company and brand on that, right? But it's interesting to see. I bet you if I would have asked this question 6 months, a year ago, maybe one person would have put up their hand that they're comfortable with an AI agent answering the phone. Now almost everybody is comfortable using it, right? So it's big up. Now, the one thing I do say is, if you're going to do that, don't hide behind it. Just tell people that it's an AI bot. It's okay, right? I have an avatar, and it's called RobBot, and actually I think people like RobBot more than like the real Rob. So it's okay. I actually play around. I actually have fun with it, right? And actually enjoy doing that. I was hoping John was going to be here, so I worked with John Zubak, who's part of the team here, and he built my avatar, and it's freaking amazing, right? So I use it on LinkedIn. I use it to promote it, and it gets so much engagement, which is so funny. But I call it RobBot, and it pokes fun at me. So I actually applied, just my last story before I jump into the rest. I just applied to go speak at CES. Do you guys know CES? It's a big consumer show in Vegas. So I applied to speak, and my application was my avatar talking about how great Rob is and why you should hire Rob to come speak, right? So some unique ways to sort of use that tool. Yeah.
Are people getting any pushback in terms of like, I've heard of people using this type of stuff like lead generation, like cold calling and stuff. Like,
crap.
So like, are people like, what is this?
Yeah, 100%. These tools as a robocall solution for cold calling, absolute crap. The conversion rate is almost like zero. But where we're seeing lots of activity or good action is activating a database that already knows you, right? So we have clients that haven't visited them in 6 months or a year. Using these tools, we see a higher conversion rate than cold calling someone. Cold call or not, we're seeing very little. Like, yeah, you're getting exactly what you're saying. You're like, so
I could see this for like booking appointments.
Perfect for that.
Like at a
100%.
hospital or a doctor's office, or something like that.
But even like, I should have set it up now that I think about it. But even like today, right? We do a talk. You guys all go back. How cool if you would have got a call. Hey, it's so-and-so, just curious how did you find the event? You got 2 minutes. Like, just something soft like that is okay, because people are okay. And as long as you say, hey, it's our bot, it's whatever, most people are pretty comfortable. There's a study they did where you're starting to see a lot of this in the medical field now too. So it's like, because people are they asked either people, do they want to talk to a human or do they want to talk to a bot like this? And more people pick the bot. Because, yeah, right, because now you're more open with it, right? And you feel like you're not getting judged by a human. You're not like, you know, and we all know we go into the doctor's office, they're just trying to get us in and out as quick as possible, right? So again, it's not there. Like these tools there's no easy button for these things that are going to change our world tomorrow, but they're starting to come and get better and better.
I think part of the conversation that always gets missed when it comes to these kinds of tools is the data governance. We have strict laws in Canada.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not like the US where it's wild, wild west.
All of the AI bots.
Yeah.
Patriot Act. So that part always gets missed.
Yeah, and that's a fair conversation. So we're like that. We're working with a dental client right now that obviously has to be HIPAA compliant, have all the data. So you know, we find tools that are in like even, and I think I talked about it one of my last sessions. So there is a large language model that's born and raised in Canada called Cohere, right? I don't know if anyone knows, but there is, right? It's not ChatGPT. It's very similar to ChatGPT, but it's actually born and raised in Canada. They're working with the Canadian government. They just signed a deal with Bell, and it's all Canadian. Right. So if you want to use a large language model and that's a concern, which it 100% should be when you're protecting your client's privacy, maybe there's those type of solutions that are out there. Okay. So good conversations. Great. I'm glad we sparked some discussion because that's sort of what this is for. So let's talk a little bit about, I mean, I put these into two different buckets based on sort of even what you were saying before is that I look at one side being, I call it sort of FAQ chatbots, right? So just things where you can come online instead of, you know, traditionally you have an FAQ section on your website. Well, instead of having that FAQ section on your website, you just have a chatbot that does it. So instead of me, hey, what time are you open until? How do I book an appointment? Like just things that people are going to be asking anyway, very simple things, like very simple asks, but you're going to take it off now. I don't know how many of us work till like 5 and then have kids and then do dinner and take them place. Yeah. And right. So you're online at 9 o'clock doing stuff or like, so people don't work like they used to, right? So it's okay to have access, give access to your business at 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, right? And have these. So the one is FAQ focus. You're putting lots of guardrails around it. You're not giving it a lot of freedom. The other side is more of an agentic one. So more of an agentic one is like, it's doing tasks. It might be able to come into your calendar and book a meeting. It might do an outbound call. It might answer the phone. It's more of the concern that we had over here to say, now you're giving it some freedom in order to actually go out there and do things for you, right? So two different models. So what I'm going to show you today is more of the FAQ focus, but there's tools if you want to go all in, right? When we have clients that have gone all in on more of the agentic side, you can do that as well. Okay, but know that there's two different areas that you can kind of go down in this path. So when Sachin asked me about the ROI part, I started thinking about great question. How do we look at this from a business perspective? So I started on what if we don't get that call? What if we don't get that client? What if we don't reply to people as quickly as we should, right? Because we happen. It's not because sometimes that we're bad people, is that we get busy. The phone rings, you're busy, you can't answer it, it goes to voicemail, and then you get called in somewhere else, and then you got to go do a job, and then you're like, oh man, I got to pick up the kids at school, and then you're like, oh crap, I didn't call Rob back, I'll call him tomorrow. Well, guess what? Rob might have called 2 other places and already made a decision, and you lost sales. Right? So that's kind of what I started thinking. So I started thinking, there's lost sales opportunities with us, right? Humans right now, we want things like this, right? Because with our phone, we can pretty much access anything we want in real time. So we've been trained to get answers like this, right? Which is not good, but just reality of way clients, especially in sort of the retail sector are, right? So that's one thing. The other side is what if we had frustrated clients, right? So delayed response, you get a negative experience. Well, Rob never calls me back. Like, man, that guy, like, or it doesn't answer his email. Like, it takes him 3 days to get back to me. And then, you know, you're creating a little bit of ill will that you don't have to. Okay. There's a competitive disadvantage. If your competitor is using these tools and you're not, all of a sudden, again, our clients making decisions because they're going to your competitors. So there's lost opportunity there. There's reputation damage I talked about before. Or now I'm going to get a bad review because Rob didn't call me back. And then we all know that a lot of people are making decisions that way now, right? They're looking at Google reviews or Facebook reviews before they call your company. There's operational costs. right? Because if we're escalating refunds due to delays or we lost bit, like there's costs that are involved in that side of it. And then the last part is that without, the engagement, I said, are we reactivating our clients? We're bad for this. I own an ad agency and I'm terrible at it. Like some people, like 5 years later, are like, oh, I didn't know you did websites, Rob. I'm like, oh my gosh, like terrible. Like slap Rob. Like how did not tell our clients what we do? Like you kind of get caught up in things sometimes. So these tools can help you. A chatbot, simple, could say when someone lands on a page or whatever, you can let them know the services you offer. So these are, I kind of looked at sort of the cost of what if we didn't do this right? And this is a reality we all live in small business, right? Like, I don't know. I don't have a team of 100. Does anyone have 100 employees at their disposal that can just do whatever they want? I don't know, maybe Nike. Like, but most small businesses in our community are small businesses for a reason, right? We can't afford to go hire 5 or 6 people that just answer phone all days, right? You just can't do it, right? So there's that missed opportunity on that side of it. As I said before, I'm very much a human and AI, and I guess, sorry, this is kind of hard to read. It kind of came out small here, but you can the idea behind that, these tools are good at some things, but humans are way better at some things, right? So we don't want to lose that side of it. Like, so if there's actually someone I follow on LinkedIn, I've got to know her. She's going to do a talk. It's a virtual talk next week. I think it's coming up now. Her avatar is doing the whole talk. First time. She's going to test it, see her up. She's sending her avatar to do talk, which cool, comma. Well, how are you going to answer questions properly? How are you going to make engagement? Like, it's really cool. I get it. Like, there's a cool factor in it, but I like this stuff. Like, you lose that connection you have with humans. And I think businesses that lean on the human side, now use the AI tools to free up more of the human side, but the people that are leaning on the human side are the ones that are going to succeed in my mind, because we're losing that touch. We're losing that feel. We're all staring at our computers. But if you can just free up your time using some of these tools to actually be able to now do more of the human stuff, I think you're really going to succeed. I think you're going to excel, right? So there's someone that actually went through the program, Sarah. She had a call with her yesterday. She went through the program where she was struggling. Her business was struggling. She ended up at Peter, you worked with her, right? Revamped her business completely. Like, I don't know, how many clients does she have now? 300 plus? Like, probably? Yeah. Oh, perfect. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. Foreshadow. So, but someone who actually now had a call with her yesterday, and she's like, yeah, I love it because now I'm spending time doing things I love. I'm actually talking to clients more. I'm like, and I'm just letting the AIs do the stuff the detail stuff, right? So she uses it so great and she's seeing success on it. So from an AI side, things like basic inquiries, great for it. What time you open, blah, blah, basic inquiries, really good. Routine tasks. Things that you do all the time. Let's automate it. Let's automate that sort of stuff. Data collection. Let's automate those sort of things, right? She's got a really cool tool that she's a merge broker. I fill out my application. It actually will even notify, hey, Rob, you didn't upload your T4. Can you send it in? Automatic. She doesn't have to touch the file, right? Like, that's pretty cool. Like, that's not a high value thing for her to do when automation can do it. And then multilingual. I don't know, like, there's people that work in different languages. These tools are great. They can adapt and do any language you want, right? Actually, I should say, because I've been using the word AI and automation, those are two different things, right? I should probably call that out, right? So, because you can automate a process without any AI involved whatsoever. Right? And we've had automation around for years. You fill out a form online, you get a response back. That's automation. Now, if you fill out a form online and you want it to go in and check the database, has Rob been a client before? Does he have 2 kids? What does he drive? I'm going to send a personalized email based on that. And like, that's where AI kind of comes into. But you can automate processes and automate some of the stuff without having any AI integration whatsoever, right? So just know that. On the other side, the human side, what are we good at? I hope we're good at empathy, right? So I hope we're good at the complex problem solving, right? So I use ChatGPT a lot. I do a lot of strategy work. It's still, I can't put it in and say, just build the strategy and here, Peter, good luck with it. I got to jump in, the thinking, right? I had the meeting with the client. I went to the office. I saw how they interact. I talked to the client. You still need to have that level of engagement in it. It could, for us, I think it builds trust back to like, really what you're saying about data. It's trust. I got to trust you that you're not taking my stuff and loading it somewhere, right? You got to build the trust with, and humans hopefully are good at do that. And the last one is sort of that engagement side. And I think there's an opportunity for us as humans to engage at different levels with businesses as well, okay? So what are some areas that we're seeing these AI customer service bots working? So, and I'll show you some of these as well. So simple one, website chat. Put it on a little, we've all seen it, little widget on the bottom of your, I think no one should have a website right now without that. Like it's simple to integrate. That's what I'm going to show you today. You can have one up in minutes, literally. I don't recommend that, but I'll tell you why in a second. But it can handle your FAQs. It can handle all that sort of stuff. It can do order tracking, right? So it can actually be able to give people, hey, you ordered, here's your status, like that sort of thing that it can do as well. Social media. So these chatbots, if you're comfortable, you can train it to answer some of your social media. Again, you gotta have a comfort level to let go. I'm not yet. So, but if you are, it can do that stuff for you as well, right? It will integrate into your CRM, like I said before. So you don't have to worry about that, like, oh crap, I'm doing stuff over here and then I gotta manually take it and update it. It can do that. It can analyze feedback, right? It's great. We probably don't do that a lot. It's saying, what is the interaction we've had with clients and just give me some insight. I think when you were saying that a friend went to an event, took the transcript, and within seconds, it gave them a recap of everything. Like that's the sort of things that we can do with these tools. And then you can do email management, which I probably need because my email's out of control, but these bots can actually help that side. Okay. So from a measurement side, so I spent some time thinking about this, and these numbers are not like actual, these are just me as a talk through point. So I think there's 4 different areas that we can probably look at when you're implementing these sort of chatbots from an ROI perspective. And I love that Sachin keeps me on task on KPIs. Like it is, right? Because we're easy as marketers to be like, oh, it's really cool, look what it does. But then let's ground it to business. Like how does this affect my business, right? So these are the KPIs that I see that you could manage and you can look at fairly quickly. So average response time. I don't know, how quickly am I replying to my customer? Super easy one to track, right? Call came in and the call log says someone didn't call them back for 48 hours or whatever, or even 28 minutes or whatever it is. That's number 1. Number 2 is resolution rate. So did the inquiry actually get a resolution, right? Without a human being involved in it. Right? Was I able to answer this question without even me doing anything? Right? That's another one. Another one is customer satisfaction. I don't know, am I getting more reviews? Like the dentist we're working with, his reviews are going through the roof. We've implemented a program for us to look at, are they happy? Are their clients happier interacting with them? So we're getting reviews. And the last one is sort of, are we getting leads? Right? Because you can create a lead generation chat or a bot that'll help you like book appointments and all those sort of things as well. So those are 4 buckets. And then I actually had a really small example to say, let's say you get 20 inquiries a day, 10, whatever number it is. And typically it takes about 5 minutes each of your time to actually deal with. Well, now that's 100 minutes, right? Every day. So what's that? 3 hours? Did I do that right? I failed math. That's why I went to 2 hours. Well, yeah, 2 hours, less than 2 hours to actually, that's why I said I failed math. That's why I went to marketing. So less than 2 hours to get back, right? So you get about 2 hours every day back. I don't know. Anybody here would like 2 hours of the day back to do some stuff, right? That's an easy question, right? So that to me, there's some simple ROI metrics that you can start using to say, where are the things where I'm actually taking a lot of my human time, and there's areas where this chatbot or this agent can help me save some time. Then you can take your 2 hours, I don't know, go hang out at the beach or whatever you can do. Hopefully we go back into productivity and do what we love, okay? So what are some areas that where chatbots are working? There's tons out there. You guys familiar with KLM? So it's a airline, yeah. So they have a travel assistant, really cool. It's one of the better ones. I've tested Air Canada. This is actually a really good one. It actually is on 24/7. It'll walk you through messages. It'll connect with you on WhatsApp. It'll send you Facebook messages. So it actually interacts with you at a real human high level area. I love it. It's a really good one. The other one is Sephora. Sephora has a beauty advisor. So you can actually go on and it'll actually walk you through and ask you what your skin complexion is or what do you blah, blah, blah. And it'll actually give recommendations, all agentic. It's all an AI bot that does that for people, right? So no human involved. And the last one is one called Landbot. I'm going to show you these ones. So Landbot is a lead generation one. So they actually are, Landbot is actually a tool, software, that actually what we'll do is actually create lead gen for you through the website. That's exactly what they're built for. So those are some areas that you can see. So I'm just going to show you a couple of these in action, and then we're almost ready to actually me to be quiet and show you guys some of these things, how they work. So we have one. So this is our website. This is an FAQ one. So at the bottom, and again, it's not displays out right. This is a simple, like we built this in a couple hours. It trained it. We have to train it. And I'll talk about that. You train it, and now I can interact. I can come and ask, I don't know, what are your AI services? And you got to spell right, I guess. Yeah, I guess you don't have to. You're right. It's me being anal, I guess. Sorry? Yeah. Yeah.
So about these, let me ask a question, chatbots.
Yeah.
Does your website also have an FAQ?
It did.
Because like,
how do you train it?
well, the thing is like with young people, we don't even look at your website.
Yeah.
We just be like, find me some marketing companies and Kamloops and
Correct.
a bunch of questions, and then that bot goes through all the websites.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, like, how are you getting that information to like the ChatGPT AI search?
Yeah, so that's I don't know why this thing didn't, it looks like it didn't answer with, but so that's a whole almost like a different workshop. So
Yeah.
SEO has changed, obviously.
Like
People are, yeah. And where I just saw a report I posted on LinkedIn, I think last week, is that the number one place a lot of these LLMs are pulling from, number one on the list is Reddit.
Yeah.
Number two is Wikipedia. How many people in this room are posting to Reddit and Wikipedia? Exactly. Right? Like, well, you are great, but that's awesome, right? I mean, but, yeah, or not for business. Yeah. I meant for business because I post on there personally as well, right? But that's a simple, that's a little bit of a shift, right? That's a shift of us SEO. People aren't using Google as much as they used. Google's still the beast. Like, don't like 80 or 89, 85, whatever it is, percent of the search is still on Google. But even Google, again, just did a post on this. I don't know if have you done a search on Google lately? Yeah. They give you an AI answer now. And then they give you Google Places and blah. Your website's like, you got to scroll down to find web listings now. They're not even doing that anymore. They become more of an answer than they are of a search engine. They're an answer engine as well, too, right? 100%. 100%, right? So what you as a business, if you're looking to get your name out there, you need to start thinking where you're putting your information, right? Not just the traditional ways. So you can still do blogs, but then take that blog, redo it. Maybe you need to go on Wikipedia. Maybe you need to go on Reddit. Maybe and it's a different strategy. Reddit is, you'll get kicked out of Reddit really quick if you're just going to go sell stuff on it. They don't like that. Right. So you need to create a different engagement level, but that's how you show up on that. So, but if you're looking to train the bot, it'll scan your website and it'll learn who you are. And I'll talk about that as soon as I'll show you, but that's how you would do it. If not, I've got a worksheet in here that walks you through some of the things you need to do that. Okay. The other one is, so I wanted to show you is like, this is that one, that Lambot one. I'm just going to no, I don't have to refresh. So it's when I land, it says, hi, I'm Lambot, want to see what I can do. Like it's already asking me a question. So I'm going to say, sure, I want to know what you can do. So I didn't even have to think. It just actually, so now it's telling me a little bit about them. So you can have a little interaction. And most people have seen these. Like, I'm not showing you anything that's, yeah. No, 100%. 100%. This doesn't have to be AI driven at all, right? So, but you can integrate AI into it, obviously, but this doesn't have to be. And again, people that are usually scared, because I think we hear the word AI and we think AI is everything now, but it's not, right? So a lot of times these are even powered by, so when I'm showing you, like, they're powered by the large language models behind them. So if you give it freedom, if I tell it to answer whatever, it'll actually go through its bank as a large language model and it'll pull the information from there and give answers. Now, I typically say don't do that because you don't know what it's going to give. Like, you can't control that. So I try to put, with these sort of things, I try to put guardrails around it and think about more of an FAQ. Okay. So, but you guys have seen, like, I just wanted to show you how these, you're pretty typical in how sort of this works. Okay. So some of the things that I actually a big proponent of, because when you launch your bot, before you launch your bot, I'm gonna try to hide this if I can. Here we go. Before you actually launch your bot, you got to train it. No different than any employee. So if I hired an employee and said, "Hey Rob, first day on the job, go answer the phones and answer all the questions about our company," and I'd be like, I don't know, like I can try, right? You need to train Rob before you do that. No different with these chatbots, right? So if you're going to create a chatbot, you need to train it. You need to give it information. You need to give it a link to your website. You need to give it posts you've done in the past. FAQ, if you have an FAQ section, give it your FAQ section. Like you're going to give it, and I got a worksheet in here that you guys can use to actually go through that, so you know. But what you can also do now, this is actually a friend of mine just launched this. He's in Portland, Oregon. He actually launched a tool that will test your chatbot. So before you go live, you load up your chatbot into here, and it'll test it for you, right? Because I always say before you launch this thing, go in and try to break it. Ask it questions, give it weird questions, send it to your friends to ask it questions, because you want to alleviate what was said, right? You want to alleviate the thing that's giving me these weird answers. You want to test it, right? So we just launched one for a cosmetic clinic. We probably trained it for a good 30, 45 days before it went live to the public, right? Because we had to be careful. Health couldn't say things. You couldn't say, like, we could get into big trouble if we say, "Oh no, this will cure your cancer," or whatever, like, right? So we had to be very careful. So we tested and tried to break it before, yeah.
You're talking about data.
Yeah.
Maybe it makes no sense for that, or did you set up as the data beforehand?
So we actually used Microsoft Azure, and then we got the HIPAA compliant pack for it. Yeah. So and it's not cheap. I think just the HIPAA compliant pack is the license is like $4,000 or something like that.
One of the
Right?
methods that used navigating that was it's anonymizing data.
Okay, yeah.
Sending it out,
Yeah.
and reconstructing it on.
So I don't know if you guys heard that. So if you're a client that's a little bit more, I'm going to use the word more advanced, or you want to be more secure, I always recommend work with people like this. Like I don't build tools, Peter, like that. Talk to these. Like I'm not a tool builder. There's people that do it way better than me, so I'll just refer on. But what I show is simple tools that you can use. Like, hey, Rob doesn't know anything about technology and just wants to build a little chatbot. But if you're a medical clinic, I would never recommend what I'm showing you today. You would go in this direction, right? And it costs a little bit more, but you want to be secure with what you're doing, right? For sure. So there are solutions for that. Do know there's solutions. But this is TestFox. This is the one you put in your link to your chatbot, and it goes basically test it and try to break it. The idea is it's going to go, how quickly does it respond? Does it go offline? Does it hallucinate? It's really cool. It's a really cool tool. He just launched it about a month ago, and it's a really cool tool for someone that's building, because a lot of time we build these things and then we think it's good, off it goes, and you're like, oh crap, it didn't answer properly. So you can throw it into something like this to do that well. Don't ask the large language model to test it, because it always blows smoke up your butt and tell you're the best person in the world. So I don't know if you guys noticed that. ChatGPT, every idea I give it, you're amazing, Rob. Oh my gosh. Like calm down. If you need a boost, you can do that. So I just say, make sure that you're testing these things, right? Understand the workflow, understand the performance, and there's always continued improvement. You always got to train, because you're going to launch a new product, you're going to do whatever. So you always got to train this thing. Okay. So let's build one. Time is in. Perfect. So let's build one. So I'm going to show you, I recommend there's lots of tools out there. I'm going to give you 4 or 5 that you can build your chatbots in. This is probably literally the easiest one you're ever going to get. It's called Dante AI. The links are in here, so you guys can go play around with it. It's a really easy one to do. We're going to build one. I have a consulting firm a company that I don't do much with it, but it's there. I'm going to show you. I'm going to use that website as sort of the actual tool to build it. Okay. So it's called Dante-AI.com. This is the actual tool. Very simple. Like I said, this is really rudimentary sort of FAQ style chatbot. Okay, so not overthink. I'll show you other ones if you want to go a little bit deeper and so forth in here as well. So we're just going to hit start, and it might ask me to log in, which is totally fine. But now it's going to say, the first thing it's going to do is say, hey there, I'm Dante AI. I'm excited to learn about your business, blah, blah, blah. So what it's doing now, it's asking me for my URL, because what it's going to do, it's going to go to my website and quickly try to learn as much as possible about who I am. Okay, so I'm going to go, I'm just going to put my, make sure I have the right, just try to yeah, so this is my, I'm just going to use this as the test site. So I'm going to load it in there. So I'm just, all I'm doing is putting the website right now. It's all I'm doing, okay? And I'm going to hit, and then what it's going to do, it's thinking now, and it's going to learn about my website. So while it's doing, it's asking me a few questions, and you see there's a bar here. So it's now searching my website and trying to learn as much as possible who's or what strategy Hive is, okay? In the meantime, it's saying what, you know, why you're preparing, while you're preparing your agent, tell us more about your role, blah, blah, blah. So this is just them collecting data, right? So I'm going to say I'm a founder, CEO, but it's fine. It's just, all it's doing is collecting data. So it's now building, literally in the back end, it's building our chatbot. Like that's how quickly it's building it. So and it's got a running total. We offer tailored marketing solutions. I have a course called Market Craft, da, 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 da. It's going to get to this point, it is going to come here. Just give me a second. So that it's built. Like literally, I don't know how long was that. It says here, 42 seconds. It built our chatbot right here. It's built. Now, is it going to be super good? Probably not, because it literally just trained for 42 seconds. But I literally could have it on my site within the next 10 minutes if I wanted. It could be live on my site. Now, again, I would recommend that because you want to go and you want to go train it, right? The other thing is you want to go train it. So it's saying though, welcome to Strategy Hive, ready to grow your business. So now I can actually start interacting with it. So I'm going to say, what services does Strategy Hive offer? So it's that quickly, it's now it's going to, there you go. So it's, I do marketing, sales strategy, blah, 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 blah. And these tools now are built where it's going to ask the next question. I don't know if you noticed, ChatGPT does that now too, is ChatGPT 5. It always asks another question at the end. Like it's yeah, right. It's keeping engagement. So now it's saying, I don't know, I'm just going to pick this. What is my course about? So it's now going to talk about the course. So in that quickly, you were able to build a chatbot. Now, what I would recommend is you would go and train it some more. Because now, I don't know if he says here, like if I actually go and sign up here, which I can, just give me 1 second. I'm going to try to sign up and see what it does. Of course, it's going to tell me to go in.
The question about this.
Yeah.
Is this actually using LLM or is
Correct.
Is it intent-based or is it generating LLM?
It's more of the way I've set it up, it's more intent-based. So it's not, so I'm giving it guardrails right now, but you can go in 203672. Correct. Now, if you want it to be more agentic, I don't know, I'm just going to create a password here and see if it allows us to do this. As it's thinking. So yeah, so this, what the question was, like, is it just drawing off a large, because this is a lot of these are powered, like a lot of the ones that you use, like for instance, BotPress is one that's a little bit more, if you want a little bit more automation and stuff, it actually, you can choose the actual large language model that you want to use, right? But you can go in Dante, I can go in the back end of Dante and say, do not pull from large language model, just pull from the knowledge base. So you can kind of set that up. So now it's come up and said, your AI agent is ready. And now it's going to like make it smarter, because what it's going to do about making it smarter is now I'm giving it knowledge, right? So this is how simple it is. I can go in here and go, great. Now I'm going to load up other things, right? So I can go in and upload straight up. I can upload content. So I can upload PDFs. I can upload my brand guide. I can upload, you can just start in the back end now, you can start throwing things in here as much as possible. And when you're ready, you can just preview it. They even have voice. So now they've integrated voice. So you can have a conversation with it. And then what you would do is, this is you test it, and you see right here on the bottom. So if I'm actually now pulling off one of the large language models, it gives you a whole bunch. It looks like some of them are optional and some are not, because it has to pull from somewhere. But I can go in here and say I don't want it. Like don't pull from ChatGPT, just from the knowledge base. Because if not, it's gonna pull answers from wherever.
If your website constantly updates, will it constantly be updated? Or
No,
you need to
you got to go back and train it. Yeah. So there are things like bot press, I believe, which is a little bit more, it costs more. Like this is super cheap. Like you see how quickly I set it up. It's literally pennies on the conversation because you basically get charged by conversation you have, or you can buy plans, but they're literally pennies. Like I'm not even exaggerating. Like I think we pay like $50 a month, and I don't think we've ever hit the limit. Like, so that it's really cheap, unless you're super, super active. But then my argument that I would pay a couple $100 a month if it's answering all my questions, like it's totally fine. It's worth the investment, right? You got to balance that. But bot press will allow you to automatically, you'll regenerate knowledge for you based off of like an existing link. It will. But typically I say you want to go back in and kind of train these. Like this site, for instance, my site here, like, I don't know, I may update it maybe a couple times a year. Like, but if you're an active company, yeah, you'll want to go in and train these things and update them fairly regularly. So, yeah.
What sort of an answer would it give? You could just pass something out of left field.
Let's try. Give me
You're gonna win the Blue Jays game tonight or something like totally.
Well, the Blue Jays, obviously.
What question was around the brand question?
Correct. So, I mean, I just for purpose sake today, let's see what it says. I don't know. We'll test it and see what it says. I apologize, but I'm able to provide information regarding the outcome of the sport. That now, so if I would have said, if I actually would tap into ChatGPT, it might give me an answer, or might point me somewhere, like, because you could, right? You can set a rule that says when it gives you a question you don't know, do this. Like typically what I would train this to be is like, hey, I don't know the answer, but I'm going to get someone to contact you. Here's a link to Rob's Calendly, book some time in and you can chat with Rob about the Toronto Blue Jays or whatever. I don't know, whatever you want. Yeah.
Does anyone have problems with like bots talking to these bots?
Yeah, I actually show a video about that where two bots actually have interaction. So I jokingly say one day my avatar is going to talk to your avatar and just going to have a conversation. I haven't seen anything like that, to be honest, but you could, and maybe that's a question. Could you hack that like you would, like you get, like, could you? Okay, so the answer is yes.
Just off the top of my head, you could run celebrities. That is possible.
So you could probably put some guardrails around that, I would assume, though. Yeah. Because these are literally pennies, like literally fractions of pennies for interaction stuff. Because you would not need, because you could use a very low large language model for this sort of stuff, unless again you're a different type of company. But you can see how quickly this bot was set up, like literally minutes, not even seconds, and you got a bot. Like, so again, is it perfect? I would say go spend some time on it, but it's pretty darn good. Like at least if I asked it a normal question, it would give me an answer about my website, right? So, but even if I said, it actually, look what it says, because it actually polling, I don't know if you guys can see the questions it's saying, even though it says it doesn't answer, it says, what time is the game tonight? Because it's actually thinking. Again, these things are like, they try to please, they try to think on it. But you can start doing, it has insights, it talks about how much integration, you can style it differently, you can add personalities, you can say, be funny, be serious, be witty, be whatever. You can actually test all that. And then when you're done, you literally can, you can share the bot if you want to trade. Then you can integrate it into your website with a little bit of code, like literally super easy to integrate into a website, right? So, and this is this is literally probably the simplest chatbot tool you'll find. Like this is, I'll say, if we're going to start from 1 to 10, this is like a 1 or 2, but it's perfect for like a lot of small businesses, If you want to go more, lots out here. There's Tidio. I don't know if you guys are familiar, another chatbot tool. And these are all in here, links are in here for you guys. There's Chatbase, another one that's in there. This is really cool. There's ManyChat. So what ManyChat does is actually will integrate into like Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp and stuff as well. So it's been actually ManyChat's been around for a long time. But if you want more of that, because a lot of times, like through our media company, we have a lot of interaction, Instagram message, Facebook Messenger. It can integrate into that. It can answer those questions for you. So think of a chatbot, but in your social media, it can do that as well. Bot press, if you want it, I would say this is probably, when I said 1 to 10, this is more of it for a do-it-yourself tool. This is the 8 or 9 tool. This will build into like automations, integrations, voice, the whole 9 yards. It literally does everything into it. Right. So it's a really neat tool. If you want to be a little bit more advanced, but a do-it-yourself tool still, this would be a great one for you guys to play with, right? And then the last one I just wanted to show real quickly, and I want to give you guys a few minutes, is that I mentioned Go High Level. So Go High Level is really sort of a sales CRM tool that you can start integrating. So Sarah, who I mentioned before, all her automation's powered through Go High Level. So this will track, it'll track for, you can build bots. It's actually becoming really cool. So if I built something on BotPress, it can integrate into Go High Level. So you have that full integration. And a lot of these are what I'm showing you is more of a do-it-yourself tool. If you want a more of a like built for me tool, then go talk to the experts, right? Honestly, right? So don't try to tackle that stuff yourself, because then you're going to have issues like Air Canada really quick. Like, just, these are do it yourself. They got a lot of guardrails around them. You're not going to offend anyone. It's not going to answer questions like the Blue Jay. It's going to be like very, very structured. But if you want to be a little bit more agentic, I typically tell clients, don't take that on yourself. Like, unless you have that knowledge. If you have that knowledge, go ahead. If not, don't recommend it. Okay. I want to make sure, I'm just looking at time. I want to make sure I leave enough time for Peter so he doesn't yell at me that he doesn't get enough time to present. Did anyone bring their computer that wants to quickly build something through Dante, or do you guys rather just take it and do it at home? Like, it's fine. I've not put anyone on, but do you guys want 2 minutes to kind of play around with Dante? Yeah? Can I give everyone, what time is it? Can I give everyone like just a couple minutes, because I just want to, and I only got a couple more slides. So if you don't have a slide, what I actually built, and you guys can take this with you, and I'll come back, is a framework. So it's a little bit of and it looks like a lot, but it's a little bit of and you don't have to write anything down. So I built a little bit of a step-by-step, like just things to start thinking about when you're building a chatbot, like what's your goals? What's the journey you want it to go on? What are some of the questions that you get asked all the time? Like, it just starts building this. You can even do it in a Google Sheet just to put your thoughts on paper. You can do that. But if Wendy, do you want to spend a few minutes on Dante? Do you guys want to spend a few minutes trying to build? Okay, we're going to give everyone like literally 2 minutes, and then they're going to tell us about this amazing chatbot they built. Yeah, I'm happy to answer questions. If not, everyone can just grab a coffee, water. We'll like literally circle back, or I can answer questions if you guys have any questions as well. So just for sake of time, sorry, I know I would love for you guys to play around a bit more, but it's 22. So but you guys saw, I think we had a few people build their own bot pretty quickly, right? Like, so you want to go train it, like I would take it home with you now and play around with it. There's no real cost to it, because right now, you're not really, until you engage and actually activate it, there's no cost. No one's put a credit card in yet. So, right, so eventually you're going to have to connect it and all that sort of stuff. So, but awesome. See how quickly you guys were able to build something, right? So it was really neat. We already did show and tell. So these are the other links. They're in here, the links that I talked about. So I just put the links in here for you guys, right? So you guys can go and play around if you want to look at other ones as well. So what you're leaving with hopefully today is a little bit more knowledge in how these chatbots are not big and scary, right? You can actually implement these. If you want a little bit more advanced, like Sasha was asking about qualifying leads. Yeah, there's chatbots out there that can do that sort of stuff. Again, a little bit more advanced. And you probably want to take a step back and really understand your strategy about lead gen and stuff like that as well. But from an FAQ perspective, these are really good tools, okay, that you can do. One thing I do want to leave with as well is that we do, I thought I had right here. I'm like, I swear I had a slide in here. So there are a couple more sessions coming up, and hopefully I have the right dates, Julie, so you can yell at me if I don't. So October 15th is the next one. We're going to talking about sort of like how you can use AI to look at some of the data. So you're collecting stuff, like what can you do with the data you're collecting? And then the last one we're going to wrap up was more of an automation. We talked briefly in the first 3 sessions, but we're going to do a little bit of a deeper dive on automations and talk a little bit about this whole search engine thing as well, because it's a hot topic as well. So there's a couple more sessions that are coming up October 15th and November 12th as well. Okay. I do perfect timing, 20 minutes. So I'm going to wrap up. Oh, yeah.
For one quick question, I missed it because you were playing with Dante, but from Zoom, the question is, what does it typically cost to implement and maintain a chatbot?
Like literally, if you do it yourself, like it's your time to set it up, but the cost to run it, like I honestly, like on our website, we spend no more than like 50 to $100 a month, like maximum. So now I was telling Julie, we have a program. We own a media company as well, and we do Best of Camels, Best of Kelowna. It's a big award, and we get so many questions right during the time because people have, how do I qualify or whatever. We actually automate a lot of the process using chatbots, and 80% of our calls were gone, right? And that, the spike there, I think we probably spent, I would say, between training time, like, I don't know, $800 to $1,200 during that time, but it saved, I'm not kidding you, like hundreds, I'm not even exaggerating when I say hundreds of hours, like literally did, right? So typically though, I mean, it all depends on how active your site is. It's a hard question to answer because it really is, if you're getting 100 inquiries a day, it's going to be a lot more expensive, but these things are fraction of the penny. And I believe Dante has a price grid. So if you go to like Dante, it actually shows you what the costs are per interaction and stuff. And you can buy a plan too. You can actually buy a plan that's a subscription that buys you a bunch of credits as well. And it's typically cheaper. I usually say pay as you go to start because you don't know, and then you can always change if you have to. Okay, that's a great question. So hopefully you guys got some value. Hope a couple people already built their bots, which is really super cool. Now, good segue that if you don't want to do it yourself and you need some support, we have someone that can help you. So Peter, who told me his title is consultant. I've heard Peter the Great. What else did we say? Peter the Wise. So we've heard, so I like those titles better than the consultant. It seems boring. So he's going to be, the Peter the Wise is going to come up and he's going to talk about sort of the program we have through SIVA and how we can support businesses like you guys and the success stories on there. So I'm just going to get your presentation up, Peter, and I'm going to pass the mics over to you.
Makes sense.
I think you're good. Oops, I went too far.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Rob. Just to, before we get into it, Jesse was concerned about, one of the concerns is you have to look at, where your data is going. Actually in Camus, I don't know if you guys know, there's the Grok that's mentioned, not the Elon Musk's Grok. They actually have a data center in Camus. Did anyone know that? Yeah. So they built it a couple of months ago. So just to give you a tip as well, like if you're looking for something more Canadian. So good morning, as mentioned. Oh, good afternoon. My name is Peter, as mentioned. First, I'd like to say thanks to Sachin for giving me the opportunity to just talk about the AI mentorship program. So talking of mentors, just before I started university, I have a mentor who happens to be my cousin, and I was trying to, should I study electrical engineering or should I go into software engineering? So I happened to pick software engineering because he did electrical engineering, and after studying that, he went into software engineering and he did really well. And so I listened to him. It's good to listen to your mentors. Listen to him, and it turned out really well. I'm able to make a good living with what I do right now as a software engineer. So, Peter great. So that's a story about mentors, right? So today I only have 15 minutes, so hopefully it's not too short, but we're just talking about case studies of having mentors. So we have this AI mentorship program that's being run by SIVA. Just allows you to, when you start implementing all these apps, like how do I get started? Rob shared the templates and all of that, but sometimes you get stuck because we are into this on almost a day-to-day basis. We are exposed to a lot of the different things that you have to look at. So today we're going to look at just two case studies. One is just marketing, and the other one is non-for-profit. The first one, instead of me talking, I'll just let Sarah from My Broker Pro. She went through the program last year, and I'll just let her do the talking rather than me talking about this.
We're here with Sarah Mathieu, talking about her involvement with the Discovery Foundation's Applied AI for Business and Education project.
Okay.
So Sarah, before you started with the program, what were some of the most time-consuming tasks that were involved in your business?
I was working on a lot of copywriting, so back and forth, and I was already using AI to a limited potential, but a lot of copywriting, a lot of customer support, like manual, in person and video person, but a lot of back and forth with clients and even some of the AI tools as well.
How has that helped you increase your efficiencies and improve your workflows?
The first GPT that we worked on was actually new to me. I hadn't really known how to build a custom GPT yet, so the program showed me that, and I've been kind of obsessed with it ever since. But the first one we built was for customer support, so really entering the input data that we needed and making sure the output was the correct answer. And it's hard to say how many hours that would save us, but also just increase of efficiency for my team, that could be the first stop for our customers when they have a question, and it's, gets them 85–90% there with the correct answer, and then they have the live support if they need it. So it really did alleviate a lot of pressure off the team. But another one that we do have like numbers for is we write a lot of content on the marketing side of our company, and that could be up to, like, let's just say an example, like 16 blogs a month. And previously we were using AI, but we still had to do a lot of back and forth massaging what the output was. And after we created the custom GPT with the program's guidance, I was able to basically shave almost 50 hours a month.
Wow, 50 hours.
Incredible, honestly.
That is a significant savings. So one of the key benefits of this program is offering businesses like yourself an opportunity to work one-on-one with an AI mentor, an AI specialist. How has that been for you? How has that experience been to be able to work one-on-one with someone with that provide that guidance and that coaching along the way?
I'd have to say my mentor was really great in the first session to be able to break down exactly what my business was. So instead of being, let's say, in a classroom environment where it would be very generalized, it was very much my business that we were looking into, my, aches and pains and, processes that we needed to work on. Everything was about my business, which was really great.
If you were to have a crystal ball and you could see into the future, what would you hope that you would be able to do with these tools?
I think our short-term goal right now for the business itself is to implement more sales and process using AI tools. So to increase our sales and to smooth out the process of like onboarding and stuff like that, what I said with the custom GPTs, as well as other tools we've seen that we can embed into our existing tools to get more customers, get higher paying customers or whatever that may be, and increase efficiency with the onboarding. However, long term, I'm actually quite excited about, because our clientele is Canadian mortgage brokers. And that space is actually pretty prehistoric, I like to say, because people don't want to adopt to new change. It's very hard to change, in the banks and everything, they use old software. However, the mortgage brokers are in control of their software, and things like agent AIs, which is being able to do phone calls and you're talking to a bot, but it sounds very real, can now take intakes of mortgage applications, transcribe that, fill out mortgage applications. And again, it's not to scare people into thinking it's going to replace the mortgage broker. It's more that it's going to help them streamline their process and also get ahead of those who aren't adopting this technology.
What advice would you give to other business owners about the value of using these tools and engaging with a program like ours?
I often compare AI to, when I was younger and the computer was coming out. We were in this like really big technology curve where things were moving really fast, and now we're in that again with AI. So some people are adopting and others aren't, like you mentioned. However, I think it's crucial for every business to adopt it because, as you mentioned previously, there's hundreds of tools. So there's for sure one or two that go for specific businesses. However, a lot of people are, I say, allergic to change. I make fun of my husband often for that. I grew up in a family of entrepreneurs, and when I show even my father some of these tools, he just can't believe it. But they're simpler than you think. They're built to help you. They're easy to integrate into your business if you have somebody to coach you, because it can be overwhelming. And not only the time savings, but as I mentioned, just like my time back so I could focus on the business.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with me today about your experience in the Discovery Foundation's Applied AI for Business and Education.
So that was Sarah. So she's able to save 50 hours a week by leveraging AI, and she went through the AI mentorship program last year. So that was for profit. So then I'm going to talk briefly about, because some of the questions that we get is like, if you have a non-for-profit, can you still take part of, can you be part of the program? So we're not going to name the non-for-profit because we didn't get the authorization. But for this non-for-profit, the problem they were having is they have a clientele that will get in touch, Rob mentioned it earlier, outside of hours, right? So when they get in touch as well, the executive director won't be able to answer the calls or reply to emails. So meaning, client communication or potential clients, they get missing. And these days, where non-for-profits are, they're looking for other source of revenue apart from just applying for grants. So they need ways in order to grow their revenue, right? So that was a problem they were having. Then opportunities there. Follow up. Basically, we're getting lost just because there's a lot of clients getting in touch. So the mentorship program, just like I think Rob mentioned a little bit as well, we don't just throw you in. We start with, what's your business goal, right? What kind of pain points are you having right now? So you want to, when you want to implement AI, no matter or automation, right? You want to look at what business value are you going to get out of it? It has to be connected to an overall goal, right? So we start with your goals. We start with your projection in the next 5 years. Do you want to grow maybe more users or more customers? Do you want to know, is the efficiency that you're looking for, right? We start with that. Then what we do as well, we go through workflow, or we go through customer journey. So from the point chatbot on your website all the way to backend, right? How is your customers getting served, right? So we want to go through all of that. So before we try to recommend a solution for you or a couple of solutions. So in this case of a non-for-profit, we've gone through all of that. What we came down to is they need a chatbot on their website, and the chatbot, it can answer a lot of different questions, potential questions. And because the customers, they usually have to go through, what they're asking, some form of health related information that's got to do with interior health, right? So those questions are being answered by the chatbot, right? The chatbot has been trained to do all of that, and it takes them through an onboarding journey. And that could be a little bit complicated, right? And we optimize that. Then what's the result? So because it's a non-for-profit, we had to be a little bit creative in terms of how we implement the recommended solution for them, right? So we got students through the RIPEN project. If you haven't heard of RIPEN, it's a good program. You can look it up. It's RIPEN. I think it's RIP. Yeah. You can look it up. As a student RIPEN. PPEN. Yeah. So basically, we got students to implement the project for them, while the executive director and the staff were part of the program, guiding them through all the different workflows. right? So there are options. Don't think you are alone when you're implementing all those projects, right? So sometimes you just have to think creatively, especially in the non-for-profit industry. So then they're able to, I still get some of the messages sometimes. People just get in touch at 2 a.m. in the morning. It's real. People do get up at 2 a.m. in the morning and expecting reply back, right? So the chatbot is able to take them through that, right? So that's the result there for non-for-profit. So I think I'm still within my 15 minutes. So we can just throw it back to you guys if you have questions about the mentorship program. To give you a quick preview, so Discovery Foundation right now, they're subsidizing how much it costs. So they give about 4 sessions. You can do more if you like. Instead of paying the regular fee, it's $25 an hour, which, like Julie said, some of the sessions ago, it's a really good deal, right? You won't get me for $25 an hour, but it's subsidized, right? You can pay for more if you want, right? So that's the mentorship program. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want to sign up, just, did I get email right? Hello at business.ca. Yeah.
I got people to stop calling me at hours by charging me out hours.
There we go.
Double or 4 hours.
There we go. That's a business owner right there. Yeah. Questions, comments?
A general question, so I'm catching up a bit, but like, is Kamloops Innovation, that name and brand, is that done now? This is,
Yes, correct. Yeah. Yeah, I moved to Kamloops like maybe 13 years ago from Vancouver. I used to be Kamloops Innovation. No, actually it used to be KIC.
Yeah.
Kamloops Innovation Center. Then it changed to Kamloops Innovation, rebranded. Then some things happened, whatever. Then it changed to CIBA, which is Central Interiors Business Accelerator. Like Sachin mentioned earlier, the focus is not just Kamloops now. We want to expand to other cities as well around the interior, right? So that's why the name.
Central interior.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, and we do get businesses and non-for-profits, not just in Kamloops. We do get clients that they connected with Kamloops, but they've even kind of moved outside of Kamloops, right? Yeah. So we do get that as well. Yeah. Thank you. And I'll pass it back to Sachin.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Peter, for very engaging conversation. I'd like to mention just a couple of points that our main area of expertise, or what you say, the vision which we are working on is creating an ecosystem of growth centered in Kamloops, and it spirals the growth across the central interior. So Kamloops is going to be that center. And the recent example, Peter mentioned that AI data center has come up. Bell has already invested in Kamloops. We are very, full of natural resources. And in the long term, we are planning to create one innovation corridor on the lines of Waterloo and Toronto. So this is just the beginning, and we need participation of all the businesses. Today's businesses are tomorrow's big companies, and they'll be fueling growth through the coming entrepreneurs like you are at the moment. And we want to play a role in that, contribute as much as we can. And we believe not just implementing AI, it's more about creating the AI mindset, which is the growth mindset. So not all the AI tools are, applicable for your business. You need to understand your business. Every business is different, and that's where the mentorship program comes. We try to understand your business. What are the tools? What value do they bring to you, and how those integrations are going to happen? And that's a little different when your core activities are not the software activity or software integration activity. I also look at AI as the start of a cognitive revolution 2.0. As it happened when fire was invented, we got 8 hours back, and that's what made us Homo sapiens of today. So we could invest more in cognition, cognitive level, think more on the research ideas. So the same thing is going to happen if you delegate your mundane or repetitive tasks to AI chatbots or AI agents or using AI tools. If you can save those 5-6 extra hours, you can invest more in your core activities, servicing your more number of customers in a better way. So that is the end goal, and this is just the first workshop of fall. 2 more are coming, and we have Peter here to help you for the mentorship program. Any questions you may have? Before we leave, I'll just like to remind you again about feedback, Julie. So please fill out the survey so that we know what are the actual needs, or if you want us to change our workshops in any way, or if you want any particular topic to get covered, just let us know and we'll try to include it on our future workshops as well. Any question? Okay. Hope you had fun. Thanks everyone.